Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera or Hbar. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask you guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and I do greatly appreciate it. Now, overall, we have been watching this market very closely the last couple days, last couple weeks, and even the last couple months, because everything since around the November timeframe has been a little bit bearish. And this also goes hand in hand with Hbar, but we have been seeing a little bit of a nice change. We have been seeing, Hedera actually hold a fairly strong position on the charts compared to the overall market. Of course, we are watching Bitcoin dominance drop a little bit. I would like us to have a nice impulse back up on the next major Bitcoin move, which will, pretty much maybe help Bitcoin range a little bit sideways while alts kind of do a little bit of a nice run. That's something I would like to see, but overall, it could be a little bit way too much hopium because, we are kind of looking at some lower structures being printed for Bitcoin. And of course, that's pretty much those low Septembers being met. But with the Bitcoin dominance currently, I don't think that alts will take too big of a hit overall. Of course, they will take a little bit of a hit. It just wouldn't be as bad as what we've seen in the beginning of December. Now, like I said, in terms of the price chart, we are holding some significant levels. Now, this is on the weekly. You could really kind of see the issue on the weekly charts, which, of course, I just want to ask, if you guys do see the issue right now on this chart, comment down below what it is. Because honestly, it is volume. We have not seen a nice significant volume increase on the weekly since around the March of 2021 timeframe. Ever since March, look at the volume. All right, since the weekly back in March, it's just been a decline. And of course, this is expected a little bit, but we need a lot more volume if we want to be seeing a lot higher price appreciation. Even on the daily, we could see there's a very big problem, aka volume. We are not seeing a lot of volume flow into Hbar currently. Of course, I do suspect that this will change eventually in 2021, but I want to see a lot more volume flow in. The RSI looks pretty good here. It looks like we are ranging on the 50 overall level, and I think that we could see a lot higher price appreciation on Hbar, even with Bitcoin at its current levels, if we had a lot more volume. But overall, that kind of just sums up the overall price targets for Hbar. My targets still remain the same, 35 cents. A close above 35 cents on the daily or even on the weekly will be very significant. It will actually flip us into the bullish sentiment point on Hedera to actually go meet higher price targets. Of course, like I said, I am watching Bitcoin with close attention because we've always been discussing where we could see Bitcoin dip down to if we do see those major dips, which as you guys do see on the daily, we could see that we've been retesting the zone that we're basically, which we just retested perfectly. We retested this zone multiple times, which makes it weaker and weaker every single time. So I'm still expecting downward pressure here. RSI looks pretty rough, looks like a solid rejection, and also we are seeing volume diminishing greatly. There's not a lot of individuals buying Bitcoin right now. There is a problem here. And of course, it will bleed into alts as well, because although Bitcoin dominance is only around 40%, it still holds a significant, wing over the entire market. But enough of that. Let's talk about some exciting things. First off, we're talking about Hbar, comparing it to ADA. I know you guys are probably tired of hearing about it, but it is something good to know. And shout out to Zepsi for this, because there's a ton of research in this. I'm not going to go over everything. I just want to specifically talk to you guys about a few things. Hbar and global finance, a thread. One of the major Cardano narratives is banking the bankless in Africa. What many don't know is that Hbar is already leagues ahead in this field, following the successful stablecoin POC carried out by Standard Bank, biggest banks of assets Africa, and also has a lot of connections with MTech as well, which could essentially put us well beyond the competition. But we do see here stablecoin transfer. We've talked about this. This is incredible from an overall standpoint when we're talking about fast and very cheap transactions. But we do see here offers quick conversion feature between fiat money to stablecoin, essentially the bridge currency, as you guys are probably all aware of that, pretty much quote for a very long time, going all the way back to XRP being the bridge currency, right? But of course, directly exchanges remittance message between Shinhan/Standard based on distributed ledger network, issues and buns its local currency without converting it to USD, tracks remittance status in real time through admin page. And this is going to really streamline the conversion between two specific, overall currencies. I think that this could get very interesting very fast. And of course, we do see here the Standard Bank and then Shinhan Bank. Oh, hey, there's Microsoft Azure. Pretty interesting, right? But overall, seriously, when we're talking about these major connections, when we're talking about what Hedera is really going to be utilized for, I don't think people are ready yet to see how many transactions will flow over Hedera once this is really adopted at mass scale. Like I said, the major issue that, even Ripple's trying to solve is the cross-border scene. It's the cross-border market that is, worth trillions of dollars, I mind you, $250 trillion to be exact by 2027. But we do see the international wire transfer. You're looking at massive fees, days and days of settlements, no tracking feature, limited operating hours, and USD settlement. And we do see our stablecoin transfer. Direct transfer between banks, fee less than 10 cents, less than a minute in terms of, settlement, real-time tracking feature, 24/7, and local currency settlement. And I just want you guys to understand, this is why almost every bank and government out there is trying to regulate stablecoins. They want to utilize stablecoins because they see the potential behind it. And of course, lessons learned, here you guys have it, stablecoin benefits and further consideration. Now we also see here the POC was an overwhelming success. Stablecoins are, however, just a single facet of SB's plan for Hedera. The video from July 2021 outlines plans for tokenized commodities, self-sovereign ID, bond exchange, central bank stablecoin, commoditizing agriculture, and of course, look who's there, MTech CEO. Fairly significant to say the least. And of course, you could look back on this thread and you guys could read a lot more about it, but it really kind of goes hand in hand with what is being, pretty much built, especially within the Hedera ecosystem. I mind you, when we're talking about stablecoin adoption at mass scale, I do suspect that there's going to be a need for a DLT technology like Hedera that is going to solve many of the problems out there with DLTs, aka the transparency, the speed, the cost, the sustainability. Hedera is already years ahead of most of these major assets out there, especially ADA. That's why I will well position myself in Hedera rather than Cardano, even though everybody thinks that ADA is like some sort of savior coin that's going to do incredibly well. I'd much rather take my bets with Hedera. And we also see here, I own Hedera, Polygon, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Serum. These are bets on software development teams, and there are many, many use cases for them. I think we're going to see a lot of different use cases emerge over time. And he is talking about how NFTs are going to be bigger than Bitcoin. We do see your dials linked to NFTs so that, the watchmaker can identify what they made, when they made it, and who owns it. I made a material investment in Jordan Fried's company, Immutable Hold, which owns NFT.com, which he's launching in January. There's a lot of work going on in the making of these ubiquitous and very liquid so that an NFT can trade on any blockchain, whether it's Solana, Ethereum, Hbar, whatever. These assets are going to be very big, and I think 2022 is going to be a big year for the NFTs. And we even see Samsung is now putting NFTs in its smart TVs. Of course, NFTs are going to grow and grow and grow in demand. It's going to be much bigger than anybody really kind of expects. We even see here, unlocking utility is key for fashion brands launching NFTs in 2022. And we know that Suku, or Infinite by Suku, is trying to get into the NFT scene for, shoes and stuff. I think that that's incredible. I think fashion in general is going to be very large once it does get to the idea of tokenizing, right? And we do see Adidas, Dolce & Gabbana, and others have already released NFTs. We know that Nike is getting in on NFTs. We know that there's going to be a lot of these major fashion brands getting in on NFTs. And we do see here, a utility can be anything from using the NFT as a membership pass to the ability to wear an asset in a game or incorporating a sustainability or social responsibility benefit for purchasers of the NFT. And I just want you guys to understand this, incorporating a sustainability or, social responsibility, that could be easily done on Hedera. But I do believe that once these major brands, right, I really do think that there's going to be a sustainability debate on Ethereum, and I think that's going to be a major call for concern eventually, which is going to allow a lot of it's not going to allow, but it's going to make a lot of individuals switch up their overall focus from Ethereum as a major NFT, pretty much power source, to something much more sustainable, aka we look at Hedera, we look at other NFT platforms in general, like Solana and stuff, which we know Solana is a little bit rough, but I'm just saying, in general, a lot of these other NFT, base, or I shouldn't say base tokens, but tokens that offer NFT marketplaces and NFTs in general are going to be the prime overall spotlighted asset to look at. And I do suspect that that's going to happen in 2022. Also, I just want you guys to understand that when we go back in time, we talk more so about Red Swan. Now, I've been following Red Swan for a very long time. In fact, I've actually commented on this thread. We're going to be talking about it, but we do see here, director of CRE production. I believe that this individual is a fairly higher up individual. We're going to actually jump into this and talk more so about this. But we are seeing him say, and all at the enterprise level NFTs will be built on Hedera. Okay, and this is very large because I want to say that I did respond to this. I thought I did, at least. Maybe I responded to a different tweet, but I said the weird thing about Red Swan is that they had listed Hedera as a main use case or main partner, but then it got removed. And then we could actually go and look back at my responses, because I don't really respond to a lot of individuals on Twitter, but in general, I said, this is a little bit concerning because I don't know where Red Swan eventually went. So here it was. Okay, so we do see here, I said, I am happy to see Red Swan pop up again because I was confused to see Hedera listed on their site, then disappear. And we've seen a lot of people respond saying, it pays to troll LinkedIn. And we do see here in August, I saw they were tokenizing on Polymath and asked the CEO if they were using Hedera, and he said not currently. They are on Polymath. Hedera wasn't ready. See the Real Vision podcast transcript and then the LinkedIn comment. And the funny thing about this major individual, right, which I didn't really kind of go in depth on, but we can kind of go back and really read who this individual is. So 1 second. So Alan A. Garzone, right? The interesting thing about this individual saying that NFTs will be built on Hedera at enterprise grade level is that he's the director of CRE production, capital markets, and tokenized securities, real estate, private equity, and look at who he is working for. Director of CRE production, Red Swan CRE. And of course, we do see his comment, and all the enterprise level NFTs will be built on Hedera. This is huge. This is exciting, especially considering how large, the real estate market is. We know that Red Swan has massive connections into the tokenization of, real estate. In fact, they've already been selling pretty much tokenized real estate already. The best part about this is that when we look at the total amount that the real estate market is worth in 2020 alone, $326.5 trillion, and it saw a value increase by 8% over the year to sum of $258.5 trillion, which we are seeing a growth was driven by residential, which is by far the largest real estate sector, accounting for 79% of all global real estate value. And I do believe that this is much, much more now. I think that we're well over, those major target or those major numbers. But in my mind, there's so much that is going to be tokenized within the space, but this is a massive market, $330 trillion nearly. The best part about this is we do see will NFTs in real estate be a thing in 2022? NFTs are already being used in real estate in 2021. It can be difficult to mint an NFT for a whole property, but NFTs are a great way to have shared ownership. Think of an NFT as a digital deed recorded in a digital ledger. I do suspect that real estate is going to be tokenized. I honestly think the entire market of real estate, just in real estate in general, will be tokenized. Okay? So pay attention to tokenization, because if we tokenize the entire real estate sector, that is $330 trillion. Do I believe that Hedera is going to grasp a large portion of that market? 100%. You might be wondering, why? Well, it's because it is the most sustainable. It is the lowest cost as well to mint and even, pretty much just, overall transact with. It's the cheapest in general. It's the fastest in general, and it is the most scalable. So when we're talking about the future for, real estate in general, for NFTs and tokenization, we know NFTs are going to be huge. We know that NFTs are revolutionizing the game very, very fast. They came out onto the scene and just exploded in such a short amount of time. And I suspect that we're going to continue seeing this. And I definitely do think that we should keep a close eye out on CRE, or AKA Red Swan, because it is a very large company. And this is going to be all at the enterprise level NFTs to be built on Hedera. This is going to be massive. Pay attention to Red Swan. I almost forgot about them, to be completely honest with you. I've been continuing to follow them, and I've seen that they removed Hedera on their website, but now we are seeing direct connections continue to be here for them, and this is going to be huge. Pay attention to the real estate market, pay attention to Red Swan, and pay attention to Hedera. So with that in mind, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.